lined up. Tracy Hines starts from the pole, and Ed Carpenter will be alongside. Second row, Jay Drake and A.J. Fike. The third row, Bud Kading and Brian Tyler. Row number 4, Robbie Rice and Dave Steele. The fifth row, Dave Darlin and Aaron Pike. Row number 6, Jonathan Leonard and Eric Gordon. Brian Gerster and J.J. Yaley make up row number 7. Yaley will carry our onboard camera. In the 8th row is Jason McCord and Derek Davidson. Back in row number 9, Tony Elliott and Duke Teat. Jimmy McCune and Billy Puterbaugh in the 10th row, and the 11th row consists of Bobby Smith and Chris Hayes. 30 laps of racing.
Should be a great race. Don't know whether you can top that midget race or not, but you know, we're going to be riding along. There's Brian Tyler. He's won the last race here. He won at Toledo. Since he's gotten hooked up with this Kroger car of Hoffman's, he's been very, very quick on the pavement. So he's definitely one of the guys you want to watch here tonight.
And there is our camera car being driven by J.J. Yaley, who is second in sprint car points coming into this event. 3 victories this year. All of them have been on dirt at Attica, Eldora, and Lakeside.
Yeah, and he took exception to what I said about his pavement driving the last time out. But, you know, what the point I was trying to make was that he has to pick up his pavement portion of the sprint car series if he wants to win the championship. We know he's run Indianapolis cars. We know he's won pavement races with the Silver Crown. But he did pick up his pavement program at Cedar Rapids and ran very well. So that's what he's going to have to do if he wants to beat Dave Darlin.
There are 8 drivers doing double duty here, driving both in the midget cars and the sprint cars. And here's one of them. He'll lead him to the green on the pole, Tracy Hines.
Yeah, and he's probably madder than a hornet right now, so I wouldn't want to be in his way on this start.
Well, he put up a gallant fight, but got snookered on the last lap of the midget car race and finished in second spot. But here's the green flag, and we're racing in the sprint cars. And A.J. Fike took a dart to the outside, but didn't hit the wall. And it looks like that Hines has the lead from Ed Carpenter as they go down the back stretch. And that's Jay Drake running third, and A.J. Fike fourth. And a car is slow, and he hit the wall apparently. That's Bobby Smith.
Yeah, he got up into the wall down there between turns 1 and 2. The pace car's back out, so we're going to have another complete restart as he heads down the racetrack. You can see that right rear wheel wobbling, so he hit it with the right rear and bent either the axle or the wheel.
Bobby Smith, you recall, won one of the heat races here tonight and was in his 6th feature race. There he is, and he's up against the wall pretty good there.
Yeah, he was pretty far behind everybody and just slid up into the wall. And he tapped it pretty hard with that right rear, so I imagine his night is finished.
He's the 1994 USAC Sprint Car Rookie of the Year. While we have a moment, let's check out the USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car point standings. Dave Darlin still sits on top by only 63 points over J.J. Yaley. Jay Drake is third, Tony Elliott fourth, followed by Tracy Hines. Now from the 14th starting position, J.J. Yaley stands on the accelerator, and here we go. The green flag is out, and the 30-lap Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car event is underway, and Tracy Hines takes the lead. Jay Drake gets into second position ahead of Ed Carpenter as they go to the down the backstretch for the first time.
Yeah, and you can see a lot of jockeying for position. Brian Tyler in the white car back there in 5th tries to get in underneath A.J. Fike, but couldn't do it. But Hines, he's, like I said, he's probably not very happy after that last race. It's going to be tough to haul him in here early in this event, I think.
There is A.J. Fike in the number 3 car running in 4th position, and that's Brian Tyler now sliding to the inside of him in the battle for the 4th spot. And the 4th spot.
Now remember, these cars are a little bit bigger than the midgets. They take up more track space, so it does make it a little bit more difficult to make that inside move, because once you get down on the inside, now look at Kading. He's clear down on the inside. It's awfully flat on that part of the racetrack, and he couldn't get position to get off the corner.
There is Fike and Carpenter. Carpenter hanging on to 3rd position, but you got to feel like there's a lot faster cars behind him. That's Fike trying to get to the inside, and Brian Tyler is waiting back there also. In comes Kading.
So far, they've probably just been running in lockstep. You can see back there, the real traffic jam is back there in the back a little farther.
About 12 position, we pick up J.J. Yaley, and he is involved in a huge amount of traffic. Now, right ahead of him is Aaron Fike in the 32 car.
Yeah, right in front of him, I believe, is Eric Gordon. So so these guys are really battling each other. No, that's Dave Darland, not Eric Gordon. I thought it was Eric Gordon, but it's Dave Darland right in front. And the yellow car up there is Robbie Rice. It seems to be kind of holding the whole pack up a little bit.
And Yaley appears to be held to the outside as he tries to pick up positions. That's Robbie Rice again just ahead of him. And again, Yaley goes to the high side. Rice slides his car up in front of him just momentarily.
Rice gets a good run off of the corner, but through the middle of the corner, it seems like Yaley and Darland both just a little bit quicker. That time he got through the corner a little bit better, but up to that point, he had been kind of slower right through the middle of the corner.
Well, Yaley is up to 9th position.
See, he's working his weight down. That's what he did with his right hand. He rigs out there, he jacks some weight. He's thinking, well, I got to get this thing a little bit tighter in order to make this pass. He does it again down the next straightaway. Man, he gave that thing about 4 cranks on both straightaways.
So that's Rice, Darland, and Yaley. Yaley to the inside now. That's Jonathan Bennett also in this tussle for position. He's in the white car on board with Yaley once again. Looking ahead now to Dave Darland. And Yaley will go to the low side this time.
Looks like Darland made the pass on the high side that time. Just got on around the outside. Robbie Rice a little low coming off the corner, and he just flew by him around the outside.
J.J. Yaley, 12 top 5 and 19 top 10 finishes this year. Has been fast qualifier on 3 occasions this year. His best career finish here at Indianapolis Raceway Park was actually in a silver bullet race. He was second last August. There's a 26 car of Derek Davidson moving in to battle with Robbie Rice.
Looks like they missed the setup on the 15 cars. He's lost several positions here in the last couple of laps. Meanwhile, it looks like the battle for second place as Eddie Carpenter still hanging on to that position. But Drake and Tyler all over him.
The lead is being held by Tracy Hines, and he has a rather comfortable lead, almost an entire straightaway. Ed Carpenter running in second position. That is Drake and Tyler right behind him. And
wow, Tyler just made a nice move right there. He made that car stick as everybody else got a little bit, Drake went a little bit high.
So Tyler moves up to third now. We are again approaching the halfway point of this event. 13 laps have now been completed out of 30. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Back at Indianapolis Raceway Park, it is Tracy Hines leading this 30-lap Stoop Straight Liner Sprint Car feature here at IRP. Here's the battle for second position. Ed Carpenter has been able to hold off challenges throughout this race, but he has a major challenge underway right now from Brian Tyler, who will look to the inside as they go down the backstretch and into turn number 3, and Tyler moves alongside of Carpenter.
He's pretty crafty. He went high and then snuck down to the bottom of the race. Oh, Carpenter got a little bit loose right there, and you know, that's just a little experience right there as Tyler tried to force him into making a little bit of an error, and he did just a little bit slip those tires coming off the corner to let Tyler go on by.
So Carpenter drops back to third position and finished 5th in USAC Sprint Car main events at Eldora and Toledo earlier this year, and is currently 9th in the Silver Bullet standing. So he is both a Sprint Car and a Silver Bullet driver. In third right now, that's Brian Tyler running in second spot, but he has a long way to go to catch the leader of the race, Tracy Hines.
Yeah, he certainly does. Meanwhile, back here in Beck, that's Kading, and Dave Steele behind him, and that's Jay Drake right in front of him. So those guys both gaining on Jay Drake.
That's 4th, 5th, and 6th right there. Jay Drake in the number 62 of Kading. Right behind him, Dave Darland has fallen back a couple of positions, and now Kading moves to the inside of Drake, but can't make the pass.
Right, while we were talking there a second ago, A.J. Fike pulled into the pit area, car number 3, so he's out of the race. And look at this, Kading on the inside of Drake. Now then, can he get enough traction off the corner. That's the real problem, is getting the traction off the corner to make the pass complete. You can get beside them, run through the middle of the corner with them before getting off the corner. Unless they make a mistake and flip a wheel, it's pretty difficult.
19 of 30 laps completed, and Jay Drake holding on to that position right now. Dave Darland's coming up on this trio.
Once he got through some of that traffic back there in the back, he's been moving up. And remember how badly he ran earlier in the night. He was terrible in his heat race. He couldn't get out of his own way. So they've done some major changes to that car. And now then, he's right in the hunt. That's well, it's a lap car there. The Hayes on the inside there. But that's 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th all right there together.
And they go to the outside of the racetrack to pass Hayes in the slower car and put a lap on him. The battle for position is continuing here. You got to really take your hat off to the Ed Carpenter crew here tonight, because remember, that car was damaged in a heat race, and they spent all evening before the semi getting it repaired, and he's still hanging in there in 3rd position. But once again, we watch the battle behind him, and now Dave Darland begins to move up.
Yeah, Dave Darland's moved up several positions here in the last couple laps. I've gotten around Jay Drake, and Dave Steele right in front of him. He's going after him.
Darland trying to keep the points lead that he had coming into this event here tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park. That is Dave Steele just ahead of him in car number 66.
He started back in 9th position. There's your leader, Tracy Hines, and he has just got a huge lead. We'll take a look back and see. Well, we didn't even see 2nd place in that last shot. He's got such a big lead.
Got about a 6.5-second lead as far as I can determine, which is a long way on this 5/8 mile racetrack. So Tracy Hines at the moment has things in hand. He swept all 3 Indianapolis Raceway Park sprint car shows in '98 and 2000, has 9 feature wins here at this racetrack, and now we once again go on board with J.J. Yaley.
J.J. Yaley just got lapped by our leader, so that's how fast Tracy Hines is. He's really been on the move. Once he told us after his heat race, he thought he'd found the thing. He thought he had it dialed in. Well, he was certainly right. He certainly has it dialed in. There is 2nd place. That's all lap traffic in front of him. That's Tony Elliott, Billy Peterball in the 7th car, Brian Gerster up there. So Tyler's got a lot of lap traffic to get through before he can ever get out, and he's still way, way behind our leader.
3 laps to go for the leader of the race. That is the 16 of Tony Elliott. There is Brian Tyler, the 2nd place car, as he maneuvers his way through traffic. There, meanwhile, is the leader of the race. He's also got some lap traffic up ahead of him, but he has had no problem moving through it earlier in the race, and apparently will have none here in the closing stages. He passes the 32 car of Aaron Fike and puts a lap on him, and up ahead is Robbie Rice, who started 7th.
He's just been so fast. Nobody's given him even been close since the drop of the green flag, and it doesn't feel like we're going to be closer here near the end.
Won 4 of the last 5 races here at IRP, and he owns 19 career USAC sprint car wins. 7 of them in total have occurred here, so he may be approaching the 20 victory mark here tonight at Indianapolis Raceway Park if he can hold on for the next lap, because the white flag has fallen. And here is Tracy Hines off of corner number 4, taking the checkered flag and winning the Stoops Freightliner 30-lap sprint car race in the Sprint Midget doubleheader here at IRP. And look at Dave Steele and Dave Darland and Bud Kading all wheel to wheel at the line.
That was 4th, 5th, and 6th, and it was very close. I got to tell you, I'd love to know what kind of a bolt he took out of that thing to make it that fast.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That was a very impressive run. Not nearly of the same type of run that Casey Kane had by starting in 20th position and winning. But from the pole position, Tracy Hines just blows everybody away and wins here at IRP. We'll be right back. Let's take a look at The top 10 finishers here in the sprint car portion of this doubleheader. Tracy Hines, of course, wins. Brian Tyler finishes second, followed by Ed Carpenter, Bud Kading, and Dave Steele. Dave Darland finished sixth. Seventh was Derek Davidson. Eighth, Jay Drake. Ninth was Jonathan Biddard, and Jason McCord came home in 10th position. Gary's in victory lane.
Tracy, if I were to ask you right now, what is your favorite racetrack, the answer would be
Indianapolis Raceway Park.
Your 10th victory overall, and you almost had the double going this evening.